Repeat for 2 weeks until the desired effect is reached to your audience in order to make it feel like you haven't posted anything in forever. Anyways, in case you're wondering what the sound of that was, it was a tumbleweed going across an empty, vast wasteland of a desert that is quite windy at this time of year, because it is winter time. Anyways, there's a video to go with this, and I'm showing it to you right now. So anyways, I've got 2 battles here in a row, and they're both against Exo-Raikou, and he's one of the only other people I know who can actually pronounce the Pokemon name Raikou correctly. So, that's cool. We decided to just battle randomly because that's what people tend to do sometimes, because honestly, the only reason I haven't really been posting a whole lot is because of the fact that it's so hard to find Wi-Fi battles nowadays. It's ridiculous, and no, the Smogon thing does not help. Just saying. So anyways, he's got a team, I've got a team, and they're both just randomly throwing together stuff, and, well, to be honest, they're both basically us destroying each other. So, yeah, that's fun. And thus the battle shall begin once the curtain has risen and the wheel of fate is turning. And thus it has, and there goes the stuff. So I'm going to lead with my Braviary because U-turn is a great move and stuff, but at the same time I was like, there's no way he's not going to go for U-turn, so I'm going to stay in Brave Bird and do a ton of damage to him, or whatever he brings out. And it turns out he's going to go for Bullet Punch, and then I'm going to crit him on the first turn, which is just like, wow, Braviary, stop it. You're being too good. You're not supposed to be good. You're in you. That's how it works, isn't it? No, not really. So, he's going to bring out his Hydreigon now, and I'm like, well, that's obviously Scarfed. Let's stay in anyways, because I'm going to die from the wind blowing on me. And then he's not Scarfed, and I do a ton of damage to him, but don't kill, because that would be ridiculous. Don't be one of those people. So, yeah. Anyways, Braviary has managed to show how brave he was, and he died doing what he loved. So now I'm going to bring out my Infernape, and I'm just like, well, obviously he's not Scarfed, so I should outspeed, and he brings out his Gliscor, and I am honestly surprised at how much that does with a crit. I mean, Stone Edge, when you generally throw it at a flying bat that has a body made out of ground, it doesn't do a whole lot, especially when he's defensive, but he's apparently not that defensive, but at the same time, I'm still impressed. He goes for the Protect, and I'm like, Overheat, because that will kill. I won't have to worry about it missing, more than likely, and Stone Edge tends to be a jerk. Because people can dodge stones, they can sometimes dodge fire, but at the same time, I was like, well, he's switching, close combat, and thus the Rotom is going to be hit down really low, and I'm like, well, don't really have much to lose here, so, what to do? So, in the end, I decide to just go for a switch, because I think he might be Scarfed, and I know that my Seismitoad can take everything from a Rotom, because both of its stabs it's immune to, with the advent of Water Absorb being legal. Anyways, he's going to bring out his Blissey, and I'm going to knock off his leftovers, which is good, because I am reading the screen, and you cannot read the screen, so I have to read it for you so you can understand what's going on. I'm going to give the Blissey some food to make up for the fact that its leftovers got taken away, but it decides to share the food with me, and I stupidly eat it, even though I know it's poisoned. And so now we're both going to die long, horrible deaths at the operating room. I don't know what's the operating room. I guess they're trying to operate on us, even though they really should be pumping our stomachs and administering some sort of thing that would help offset the poison, but whatever. I'm going to bring out my Kabutops, expecting Wish Protect shenanigans or switching, but he doesn't do that, so it doesn't happen. And now I'm going to have to explain my nickname. So, in Pokemon, Blastoise's Pokedex thing says that it is the shellfish-type Pokemon, and Kabuto and Kabutops are both shellfishes, so I decided to call them turtle, because apparently a turtle is a shellfish. So says the first shellfish in the National Pokedex order. Now then, he's going to bring out the sky as I go for the whole thing of Swords Dance, and I'm like, I'm supposed to have Aqua Jet, but I don't have Aqua Jet. It's kind of frustrating, but whatever. It doesn't really matter, because in this case, Waterfall helps me more because I managed to take out the Gliscor, which I didn't expect. So, I'm going to be in here waving my sighs about, wondering where all the wheat is that I can cut down. I said wheat, not that thing that people like to call the slang term for the one drug that I'm not going to mention the name of. Yes, barley! Anywho, I'm going to switch out because I don't have Aqua Jet, and if I had Aqua Jet, I would be able to take on this guy entirely, but since I know he's probably going to go for a stab move of some sort, that my Seismitoad is a safe switch in, so I go into it. Now I'm going to have to see what he wants to do, because he's apparently going to go back out to Blissey as I scald, and I'm like, please no burn, and I don't get the burn, because burned Blissey is not nearly as useful as a poisoned Blissey on my end anyway, because Blissey needs to be poisoned, slowly killed, and then it Rasputins on me and I miss the poison and it doesn't really kill it because he got cured. That's what everybody should name their Blisseys from now on, Rasputin. It makes a lot of sense, I think. Anyways, he's going to keep shaking his pom-poms about and dancing up and down and everywhere and all around, and I'm going to have to get out of here because Seismitoad can't do anything to it. So I'm going to bring out Infernape. So far, the only attack he's shown is Flamethrower, so I'm not worried at all, even though that does a lot more than I anticipated because Blissey shouldn't be able to do that much. So I go for the close combat knowing I don't have much to fear, because honestly, the only thing he could really switch in that would threaten me would be... I honestly have no idea what he could switch in. Anyways, he's going to bring back out the Rotom, and I'm like, well, he's obviously not going to go for either of his stab moves, because every single time I've done it now, I've gone out to Seismitoad, rather, and he's going to trick me his Choice Scarf, which is actually going to end up making me win the battle in the end, because Infernape just wrecks face when it has the opportunity to do so, and there's no Rain up, because, for whatever reason, Rotom, Rain, and Dragonite are the dominant metagame force, along with Genesect, which we'll get to here shortly. And he's going to bring out his Terrakion, which is not going to be able to outspeed me now, because I have the Choice Scarf, and I'm faster. And Scarves make you faster. They don't totally weigh you down and make it so people can grab onto you and just sling you across the room, or choke you or anything. That's just ridiculous. Anyways, out comes the Yami Yugi Pharaoh, who has been in the tomb for quite some time and has gotten green skin and is somehow still alive despite the fact that his flesh is dead. And thus, that ends the Wi-Fi battle number 1, which is why we're going to slowly transition into number 2 here in a second after you can see I destroyed him, which is unfortunate.